Good morning and welcome to Talk About It, the show where we address mental health issues here at Rowan University as well as in our society. I'm your host, Jordan Ellis. Today in our show we have a number of things to talk about, including the role of mental health in films, the recent suicide walk here on campus, and our own Stephanie Papandrea took to the streets of Rowan to find out just how much students know about mental health. But before we get into all of that, we have Jerica Marsh here, the newly elected president of To Write Love on Our Arms. How are you doing this morning?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. So for those who don't know, tell us what To Write Love on Our Arms is.
To Write Love on Our Arms is a national organization that was brought here to Rowan. And our purpose is to support people who need to talk about things like mental health. That's not always easy to talk about. So it provides a space for people in general, but here specifically students or non-students,
Right.
to come talk about things in not such a serious setting. So it's not a counseling session, but
Okay.
you can come talk about things with peers and know you're not alone in situations.
Awesome. And you said this started as a national foundation. How did that start, and when did it come to Rowan? How long has this been here?
So the national organization itself is very new. It was founded in 2006 by Jamie Tokorski, and it was for his girlfriend. She was really struggling with mental health, and he needed to find a way to help her, and really came to realize that this was not just something wrong with her, that this was mental illness is a thing that affects everybody at some point in their lives, whether they're impacted with it or someone close to them is.
Right.
So he wanted to provide a support network for her and people like her. And then it was founded here in 2013 because a couple of transfer students from Monmouth really pushed it through. So they went through like SGA and everything like that. So we're an organization just like any other.
Awesome. And I was looking on ProfLink and I saw you guys have a lot of events and everything. So tell us a little bit about some of the events you put on every semester.
So every semester, our main focus is obviously discussing mental health and what ways you can do to make it better for yourself and for other people. So like our main thing is stress, because that's one of the biggest indicators of mental health. And we do a lot of like de-stressing activities, not primarily around like midterm or final season, but around just a general population of what's going on at Rowan.
Right. See, I'm part of Tau Sigma, the Transfer Honor Society, and we do a puppy de-stressing thing, but that's only at finals and midterms. So you guys work through the semester, right? Okay, so to make sure that everyone has some sort of relief.
Because there's always stuff around midterms, but not in the middle of midterms and finals.
Right. So you're the newly elected president, so in the fall is really when your reign starts, right?
Yeah.
So do you have any big plans for the club in the fall?
So in September, this one is probably the hardest one because you have to plan for it in summer, but Taloha does Suicide Prevention Week. So we have that in September, and every year we're just trying to get bigger and bigger with it. So.
Right. So also, I don't know if you're aware, but this upcoming month is Mental Health Awareness Month. That's why we have the green ribbons on our cup and everything. Are you guys doing anything for that, or not really because we're going into the summer?
Yeah, at this point, we're just, again, trying to not stress everyone out. So just trying to raise awareness for it, but there's no like big shebang.
Big events or anything. So do you guys work at all with the counseling center or the wellness center here at Rowan, or any of the other clubs? Tell us a little about that.
Okay. Our advisor is Dr. Valinsky, who is a psychologist counselor at CPS. And we try to work with CPS and HCI, like the Healthy Campus Initiatives, really closely. Schedules conflict a lot, so it can be tough, but it's really easy to get all of us to work together and advertise big events so people know that they don't have to just go to a counselor to get help that they might need.
So your events in particular, how are those events like helping with mental health? Because you could just easily have like a karaoke night or something to promote your club, but that's not to promote mental health. So how do your events in particular help with that, like the coloring and things like that?
So with activities that aren't using too much of the thinking side of the brain. So it's really easy when you have some kind of mental illness to really focus on that and let it kind of shatter everything else that you're doing. So when you're taking your mind off of, well, I have a lot of scars on my wrist, to I'm coloring this silly little butterfly and that's just what I'm doing right now. It's easy to let yourself not get so stressed and worked up and really be in the moment.
Right. So that's your biggest thing, is letting people be in the moment and forget about all their worries and everything like that. So it sounds like your club is, while it helps with mental health, it's not an actual counseling session, obviously. So it's more like a group of friends talking. Okay. So if someone wanted to come to one of your meetings? Like, what can they expect at one of these meetings?
They can expect to come, they can fully participate if they want to, or they can just come and listen. A lot of times we have things like, we're gonna talk about anxiety tonight, but like if we get off topic, we get off topic.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
But it's really comforting to hear from other people, like when I sit, I can't sit still, and you're like, oh, I feel that.
Yeah.
So really just a way to feel connected to other people and the support that you might not have necessarily asked for.
Right. So it's to feel like you're not alone. Like there's other
Exactly.
people at the school in particular, let alone in the world, who are experiencing the same things as you, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. And so a typical meeting, they show up and you just, is it like a circle? Like how,
Yeah.
is that how it works?
Yeah, we all sit in like a big circle so we can all like see each other. And it's not like a raise your hand, like it's just whoever wants to talk
You can
can talk.
It's super casual.
Yeah, yeah. And
Okay.
we always have like free food, like pizza, because, you know, college students. So.
Okay, so that's good to know. That'll get people to come out for sure. And do you have social media or anything like that?
We're on ProfLink like every other club, but we also have Facebook, Instagram. You can always email us. Like,
So they can
Blow
find
Hot
you pretty
Rowan.
much anywhere.
Yeah, easy
Okay.
to find.
And each week, do you focus on a different like topic, or is it just more general, like about like one week are you talking about anxiety, and the next week depression, like things like that, or is it more free flowing, whatever people want to talk about?
So our first meeting, we usually will be like, all right, what do you want to talk about this year? And we'll write it all down and we'll like bring it up. But if different things are going on, like when Robin Williams committed suicide, that was
Right.
something we talked about. Like, how did this affect you? How do you think this affected other people? So it really is just whatever happens, but it's very free flowing.
And you're a junior now, right? So have you been a part of this since your freshman year, or when did you
Yeah.
get a part of this?
Yeah, I
Freshman
became part of it my freshman year.
Your first semester, so you've been.
At the end of my first semester, I really needed to get involved with something like
Right.
that, and as soon as I did, it was the best thing for me.
Awesome. And how, if people want more information, they can go to your social media pages? Is that okay? And when do you guys normally meet?
Usually we meet every other Tuesday at 9:15 in James. We
Okay.
try to keep it to certain rooms, but for right now we're in 11:15.
In the fall, do you think it's going to be the same, or
Most likely.
Most likely.
No matter what, we'll be in James. So
Okay,
you'll
so
be able
they'll
to
be able to
us.
find you no
Yes.
matter what.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much for being here, Jerica. I
Absolutely.
really appreciate it. You seem to know quite a lot about mental health, but how much do you guys all know about it? Earlier this week, Stephanie Papandrea took to the streets of Rowan University to quiz students and find out just how much they know about mental health. Let's take a look.
I'm Stephanie Papandrea, and I'm interviewing college students about their knowledge on mental health. How many college students do you think are depressed?
15%.
If you had to put like a number on it, how many do you think it would be?
1 in 5.
The correct answer is 1 1/4. What does the word stigma refer to?
The lack of knowledge for mental health, and also just people being afraid of judgment from their peers for having some kind of mental health issue.
Societal prejudice that can prevent people in need from speaking up or seeking help. Mental health refers to A, achieving a period of 12 to 18 months without a psychotic episode, B, striking a balance in all aspects of your life, social, physical, spiritual, economic, and mental, or C, a constant feeling of contentment.
Probably B.
B, striking a balance in all aspects of your life, including social, physical, spiritual, economic, and mental. Who do you think is most likely to have a mental illness? A, poor, uneducated people. B, mental illness can affect anyone regardless of intelligence, social class, or income level. Or C, people with stressful jobs. Some students have more knowledge about mental health than others.
Definitely B. It's anybody. I mean, everybody has a different reason in their life that makes them feel the way that they feel. So you can be depressed because you don't have enough money and you have bills to pay, or you can be depressed because your situation as far as family goes, if drugs is involved in your family, or even somebody who has a lot of money, is well off, has tons of friends, even they can be feeling some type of mental stress, mental health issue, anything like that. I don't really think a label as far as where you are in the social class really depicts whether you can have a mental illness or not. It affects anybody because it's really internally how you feel about yourself, how you think others view you, and just where you see yourself in the future and things like that. So it's really on an individual level how each person sees themselves.
I'm Stephanie Papandrea, and now back to the studio with Jordan Ellis.
Thank you, Stephanie. It seems that our students here are surprisingly well informed when it comes to mental health. We'll be right back after these messages.
Ever wonder what it would be like to share the sky with the stars? The Rowan Planetarium provides a glorious, visually stunning experience of viewing our galaxy in a way you never have before. The Cosmic Castaway Show dives into the meaning of the Sol system. The Rowan Planetarium, located at Rowan Science Building. To learn more about special shows and events, go online at rowan.edu/planetarium.
Whether you're a commuter or a resident, all students can benefit from Rowan University shuttle service. The shuttle makes stops at parking lots all over campus, making it easier to get to your destination from your car or dorm in a quick and efficient manner. Some stops include Rowan Boulevard, the Student Center, Robertson Hall, Chestnut Hall, and High Street. The shuttle runs from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. during the week. For a full shuttle schedule, visit rowan.edu/safety or check the smartphone app in the App Store.
Welcome back to Talk About It. I would like to welcome our second guest to the show, Julie Darpino. Julie is a student here at Rowan University, and she has a different outlook on how to treat mental health than a lot of people. Thank you for being here, Julie.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing this morning?
Good.
Good, good. So you use homeopathics to help with your anxiety, correct?
Yes.
So explain what that is, because I'm sure a lot of our audience has no idea or even heard that word before.
Well, homeopathics are micro-dilutions of substances that heal the body on a biophysical level.
Okay.
So micro dilutions are dilutions up to the millionth and beyond potency. So they're very powerful. And the biophysical level has to do with the energetics and frequencies of the body.
So what does that mean exactly, the frequencies of your body? Do you know?
Well, it's sort of the energy of your body and how it responds to different things.
Okay, and how do you use these homeopathics? Is it like a
Well,
pill?
what you
or?
want to do is, it's in a liquid form, and usually you take a few drops and you put it under the tongue, because that way it absorbs into your body better than just swallowing it.
And just swallowing. Do you know why? I've never heard of that before. Usually a pill you just swallow, but it's easy if you just dissolve it.
Well, when you let it sit there underneath your tongue, it's going to enter through your body a lot quicker
Okay.
than just swallowing it, because then it's going straight down.
Okay. And tell me about the Bach flower remedies. I know you use those a
Well,
lot.
Bach flower remedies are flower solutions that are diluted, and they match the frequencies of a emotional upset.
Okay.
So when you take this remedy, it's going to cancel out that frequency.
Okay, and there's 38 remedies, I believe,
Yes.
right? So does each one of those treat something different, or how does that work?
Yeah, the range is very wide. A lot of them have to do with different kinds of anxiety. If you have like sleep problems, or if you're having trouble dealing with, you know, a loss or an illness, if you're lacking confidence, different things like that.
So is this something that you take every day, or is it going to take a while for it to start working? Like you do it
Well,
in instant relief, or?
It really depends on the person and how
Okay.
extreme their emotional situation is.
Okay. So what about if you were doing one for like trying to get good sleep? You were saying or something like that. If you take it, is it going to be like a NyQuil and you're just out? Or?
No, usually it does take a certain amount of time, at least a few weeks, but I would say at least a month,
Okay.
generally.
Okay. So your body has to get adjusted to it and realize
Yes.
what's happening, sort of. And tell me a little about essential oils. I know you use those as well.
Well, essential oils are concentrated oils from plants, and the fragrance of these plants, when you smell them, it triggers a response in the limbic system of the brain, and this system has to do with sorting and storing emotional memory.
Okay. So how are the essential oils different from, say, if you had a lavender one, different from just straight up smelling a lavender plant?
Well, because it's so concentrated, it's much more strong. If you just smell the plant, it's not going to have the same effect.
Okay. And how can people get these essential oils and the Bach flower remedies if they wanted to try them themselves?
Well, there's a lot of different brands online that you can find. The Bach remedies, you can actually find some of their remedies at Whole Food stores,
Okay.
such as the Rescue Remedy, which has directly to do with anxiety, and it's very popular. Essential oils, you would have to get online for the most part. Young Living Essential Oils is a very popular brand right now that sells them.
So how are these essential oils and the remedies and the homeopathics different from traditional medicine that most people take?
Well, they are naturally derived from plants. Nothing's man-made, and your body's not going to have any negative symptoms from having them. You're only going to improve in your health.
Because everything's natural?
Yeah.
Okay. And you also have some dietary restrictions I know about. Are these just to help with your mood and your anxiety, or tell us a little bit about what you've cut out of your diet and things like that to help?
I've cut out gluten, which is a protein in different grains, and this protein in particular, in my body and in bodies who are sensitive to this, the body responds in a way that it attacks the protein because they think it's a foreign invader.
Right.
So I've cut it out because it targets my brain and my nervous system, which has a lot to do with my emotions. So when I did have it, I undergone a lot of depression and different kinds of anxieties, just emotional up and downs.
Yeah.
So
how did you realize that gluten was the root of all of that?
well, I didn't know at first, but when you cut it out of your diet for at least a week and then you have it again, if your body responds to it in a negative way, then you know that it's
that was
sensitive.
the issue.
Yeah.
And how did you get into all of this stuff, like the
Well, I got
remedies?
into it because of my family. My mother's side of the family also has this allergy, and we have taken great pains to find alternative ways to help this because we haven't found the answers we need through modern medicine.
Okay. And so would you recommend, say someone had like depression and anxiety and all these things, could they take multiple like of these flower remedies to treat it? Could they take multiple, or is it more just you stick to one?
You could. You could. It really just depends on which remedy suits your needs the best, and that tends to just be one. But if you are dealing with depression and anxiety as separate issues, you could very well take two different
both.
remedies.
And now I read online on the Bach Flower website that it's impossible to overdose on these type of things, which is also great. It's all natural, so there's no way, right?
Yeah, they're completely safe.
Okay, good. And aside from just these, you also, the gluten, but you also cut out caffeine, correct?
Yes, caffeine, something I miss a lot, but I've noticed that when I have it, the longer it's in my system, the worse my anxiety is once I cut it out. So I have to wait quite a while to get it out of my system to not have any more anxiety caused by that.
Right. So what else do you do to ease your anxiety? I know you used to be big with yoga.
Yeah.
Do you still do that?
A big thing I learned from that is learning how to breathe properly. I noticed that when I would get anxious, I would kind of tense up and hold my breath without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
So that really helped me to learn how to breathe through things.
So the use of the yoga and the homeopathics, would you say overall you've gotten better with your anxiety?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've seen a big improvement?
Definitely,
What do you
yeah.
think's made the most difference for you?
I would really say a combination of everything because everything brings a different element to the body and how it heals. So,
Right.
of course, it's taken a while to get to this point, but it's well worth the wait.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here,
Thank
Julie.
you.
I really appreciate it. By the way, have you seen the show 13 Reasons Why?
No, I haven't.
No, not yet. Well, everyone seems to be talking about it. The show's about a girl named Hannah who committed suicide, and she leaves behind cassette tapes with the 13 reasons why she killed herself. The show does a great job of portraying the realities of mental health, but that was not always the case. Mental health in films and TV seems to be a taboo subject, but 13 Reasons Why is changing the game. Let's see what Lou has to say about it.
America is falling in love with the latest Netflix sensation, 13 Reasons Why. The series, based on the 2007 Jay Asher novel, explores the world of mental health and it's shedding light on the topics of teenage bullying and suicide awareness. As Mental Health Awareness Month approaches in May, Talk About It looks closely to how the subject of mental health has been identified in Hollywood. Although Hollywood has been scrutinized for misunderstanding mental health or not taking the subject seriously, over time, Hollywood has revolutionized the way the world looks at such a sensitive topic. Here we take a look at the evolution of film and mental health. beginning with the 1960 Alfred Hitchcock movie that is still criticized for its lack of sensitivity. The critically acclaimed thriller Psycho, introducing the abnormal behavior of a man with multiple personality disorder, Norman Bates, was depicted as ugly to develop the horrific effects of the film through character. Bates, who appears as handsome, shows that even good-looking people have disabilities. Like 13 Reasons Why, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was based off of the popular novel written by Ken Casey. The film made it to the big screen and excelled due to its contributions to mental health awareness. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, led by Jack Nicholson, was able to touch the heart of those at home, showing the conditions of psychiatric institutes. The film depicts multiple mental disorders and illnesses that were advanced for its 1975 audience and set the bar high for other films exploring the topic of mental health. A Beautiful Mind, led by Russell Crowe, shares the story of John Nash, the Nobel Peace Prize winner who is challenged with schizophrenia. The film has been the most decorated film about mental health and disorders with its credentials. The 2010 Martin Scorsese film Shutter Island, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Ruffalo, and Michelle Williams, introduces the subject of mental health in the most complex ways. The film is a psychological roller coaster and has received backlash because of it. Shutter Island shows the intensity of depression and other mental complexities. The 2012 David O. Russell film Silver Lining Playbook, starring Bradley Cooper alongside Jennifer Lawrence and Robert De Niro, shows the clash of multiple disorders in a single space. This film shows the viewer how to handle mental health versus how you're not supposed to handle mental health. Inside Out is a film about emotions and how to look and hope to find happy in everything despite the challenges of life. Inside Out is a film about emotions and how to look and hope to find happy in everything despite the changes life hands you. A Pixar and Disney animation perfects the way we look at emotion. Throughout the film, you see how happy, anger, disgust, fear, and sadness affects this girl on her journey. And most importantly, the film shows that it's okay to be sad sometimes. That was our timeline of the evolution of mental health on the big screen. 13 Reasons Why, Season 1, is 12 episode longs for you to binge. Tell us what you think of our list and 13 Reasons Why on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
The portrayal of mental health has definitely changed through the years, and hopefully it will continue to show mental health in an accurate light. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the suicide walk on campus last week, and we will be back with both Julie and Jerica to talk a little bit about advice for those dealing with a mental illness. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Have been experiencing signs of influenza. Among these signs are body aches, chills, sore throat, and dry cough. Those experiencing these symptoms should make an appointment at the Wellness Center or head to a local urgent care. Rowan University's Wellness Center recommends for students to take advantage of the free flu shots the campus provides. For more information, call 856-256-4333.
Have you ever been that kid that doesn't get a chance to play? Well, here at the Rowan Recreation Center, we believe that everyone deserves a chance to get in the game. Whether that game is basketball, volleyball, fitness classes, or any of the other plethora of activities we offer. The Rec Center is open every day from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. So come in, bring friends, or make friends. Either way, at the Rec Center, we believe everybody is the MVP. For more information, visit our website at rowan.edu/rec.
Welcome back to Talk About It. Last Wednesday, Alpha Nu Omega Incorporated hosted a suicide walk here on campus. Our field reporter, Stephanie Papandrea, joined them to see how they spread awareness of suicide prevention at different spots around campus.
I'm Stephanie Papandrea here at the Student Center of Rowan University, where Alpha Nu Omega started their annual suicide prevention walk. We'll be walking around campus spreading awareness. We're about to leave, so let's get started. Fight! You can! Fight! You can! Fight! You can! Suicide is a tragic event with strong emotional repercussions for its survivors and for the families of its victims. More than 42,000 people in the U.S. killed themselves in 2015, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, making it the 10th leading cause of death overall. Although most federally funded suicide prevention programs focus on helping teenagers, recent years have seen a spike in rates among middle-aged people. Men are especially at risk, with a suicide rate nearly 4 times higher than that of women. Alpha Nu Omega is a Christian fraternity and sorority, a part of the Inner Greek Council here at Rowan University. Their national cause is mental health awareness. This walk served to raise awareness of suicide prevention. I spoke with one of Alpha Nu Omega's members, Tiffany Bethea, and asked her what was the main reason that the organization wanted to be a part of this event.
This event helps people to become more aware of suicide. It is a very prominent leading cause of death, and people are not aware of the signs and things of that nature. So we just wanted to educate the people on the issue and what they can do to prevent it.
If you or someone you know is having suicidal thoughts, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. You are not alone. Confidential help is available for free 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm Stephanie Papandrea for Talk About It.
A great organization on campus working to share a great message. We're back with Jerica and Julie, and I have just a few more questions for both of you. So one of the biggest things with mental health, if you have some sort of problem with it, is to stay mindful and how to do that. What are some ways that both of you work to stay mindful?
Well, what I do is I pay very close attention to my body each day and my emotional fluctuations, and I try and figure out what variables could be causing it just from observation of what I go through.
And you also do, again, your yoga and stuff like that. How does that help you?
That's very important because of breathing primarily. So, you know, just making sure that I'm breathing properly throughout the day when I might have a panic attack really helps.
And that might be something that people don't think about a lot is their breathing, but your breathing has a big effect on your anxiety and all that stuff. So making sure that you are aware of all that is really important. What about you?
Like she said, breathing is really the main point. But the primary focus of mindfulness specifically is to be present in the moment.
Right.
So to not really let your mind wander and focus on other things that aren't really important to the task at hand.
Right.
And I know for me personally, I have really bad anxiety. One thing that helps me is when I count things, because it kind of clicks you back into being mindful of like, okay, I'm here in the now.
Right. One thing I do, I've actually just started, my boyfriend got me a huge paint set. So every night I've been painting like canvases just to take 1 hour out of my day and just paint and focus on the task at hand and forget about all my other problems. Do you guys ever like have those adult coloring books or anything like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, those seem to help me a lot. I'm sure it helps you guys too. And if you guys could give one piece of advice to people who are struggling with their mental health, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that, you know, take your health into your own hands. If you really can't find a solution for yourself, do a lot of research, really look into different solutions. That way you can weigh all of your options and find what's best for you, because you know your body better than anyone else.
Right, of course. What about you?
Just because you're struggling less than someone else doesn't mean you're not struggling. If you need help, go get help, and there's nothing wrong with that. There shouldn't be a stigma, and you can help fight the stigma by just going to get help, whether you just have anxiety about a test or your entire life.
Yeah, all of your feelings are valid no matter what, right? All right, well, I want to thank you guys again so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I loved having both of your insights on this topic that's very prominent in our society and our school. So thank you for that. That about wraps things up here at Talk About It. If you or anyone you know is struggling with mental health, don't be afraid to reach out for help. You're not alone. Rowan University's counselor is always on call at 256-4911 for mental health emergencies if needed. For me and everyone here at Talk About It, have a great day. Okay. And now it's going to be a